You like that dance? Do you remember when I made you smell my socks?
She's so gross.
My feet don't stink, okay?
She's just nasty.
I won't say my shit don't stink, but my feet don't stink. I'm just saying.
Your feet are gross. All feet are
You
gross.
think all feet are gross. I'm just saying, then you lucked out because you're with somebody who doesn't have stanky feet. So
yeah, see? Angie's like nasty. Yep. Agree.
Angie,
all feet are nasty.
Angie, don't make me get the raccoon off the wall, okay?
Thrifty chick in New England.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Oh, Karen, welcome. First live show.
Woo, woo!
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Hey, guys. Flippin' Sound says feet equals no. Listen, I'm not saying feet are great or amazing. I'm just saying one thing I'm grateful for is that I don't have stinky feet because that is gross. But listen, I'm Katie. This is Vicky, aka Victoria, aka LV Pink Panther, aka my fiance. So we are here for the Sunday.
Did you get it off the wall?
I won't do it. It's gonna stay there. I have like another.
You've got to put the cage on it.
So look, I have this little raccoon too. Look at it. Beep, 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 beep.
Jim Shore.
You know what? There's actually Angie. There's actually a.
You have another one right there next to it too.
Yeah, there's actually it's like a coffee shop or something like that. I don't know what in Seoul, South Korea, where they actually have raccoons that you can hang out with. I think they have cats and stuff too, but there's there's specifically a raccoon room, and they're like tame raccoons that you just hang out with, and you get to pet them and cuddle them and stuff. So I think we need to go there.
Where did you say this?
In Seoul, South Korea.
Yeah, no.
I've been there before, but I didn't know they had a raccoon room, or I would be cuddling the raccoons. They probably didn't have it back then. It wasn't that long ago, but anyway, it's a Sunday Live Haul show, guys. Thanks for coming. So on this show, we basically go through like the highlights of like some of our favorite things that we sold this week or things that we think will be helpful to you guys to hopefully help you learn like things you should be looking for.
Different kinds of brands, different categories that you might want to look for or look at when you're checking thrift stores out or yard sales, stuff like that.
Yep. And then we also show you kind of like our favorite stuff that we sourced for the week. We went on Monday morning because we just got back from Michigan on Sunday, and so we hadn't sourced that whole previous week. So Monday morning we went to One Savers because they had 50% off, and it was kind of crazy in there, but we found some good stuff.
Yeah, we did okay.
And then Thursday I did my regular all-day sourcing day, so I did all 6 Savers. I went by myself. Vicky didn't go with me that time, so all day. And then you had the great idea. What'd we do?
We did a little date night. We went to the outdoor swap meet. Here it's called Broadacres. And they run every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, year-round. And we went on Friday night. They don't do Friday during the day. They don't open till Friday night. So not all the vendors are there that are there on Saturdays and Sundays, but about 85% of them are there. And a lot of it's like the new cheapo crap from China and household goods and it's a laundry detergent, paper towels, and
lot
socks.
of like Walmart like pallets, so returns and stuff like that. Hold on, everybody. I need to stop the show right now.
Really?
Okay. Everything needs to stop. I need to go back over here. Rosie's Closet. That's Crystal, right?
Yeah.
She says they have. Isn't she here in Vegas? She says they have raccoons where she lives.
They don't have raccoons over here. There are no raccoons.
Crystal,
are you
telling me that there are raccoons in the Las Vegas area? Is that what you're telling me? Because if that's true, I might have to come live with you because I want to be where the raccoons are.
Yes.
That is crazy. This one over here told me when I moved here that there were no raccoons in Las Vegas.
Raccoons or possums or squirrels, things like that. We don't have those.
You are full of lies. You're full of lies.
Whatever.
Man, I want to see those raccoons. She says they live by the wash and they have raccoons.
Maybe that's why, because there's more water.
I don't know.
I don't know. We live like near the district.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just love me some raccoons and I want to go hang out with them. That's all.
And Johnny's in the house in City Hustlers.
Yeah, what's
the
up,
swap
Johnny?
meet is huge. It's a really big swap meet. There's something for everybody. I mean, honestly, when I do my big blessing bags for the homeless, usually toward the fall part of the year, which I think we're gonna do something a little different this year. But I tend to go and pick up a bunch of the supplies there. They're really good at, pricing stuff. But anyway, there's lots of places, lots of different booths and vendors that sell, typical garage sale junk and,
There's
storage locker cleanouts and all that kind of stuff. So
there's a guy there who has sort of like a semi-permanent like structure that he's in. It's like a little, I don't know what it is, like a shed or something, whatever.
It's a shed.
And he's always there, and he has his stuff set up. Actually, Johnny, you might be interested if you're willing to pay a little bit more money. He has like tons of jerseys. Now I don't know jerseys as well, so I don't tend to get like a lot of them, and I don't really have time when I'm there to sit there and look up every single one. But he has tons of jerseys, and he also usually has like a lot of sports jackets, racing jackets, and lots and lots and lots of motorcycle jackets. And the thing is, like,
he's willing to deal.
Yeah, he's willing to deal. And when he knows, this is the thing, when he knows you're a reseller, he'll actually sell it to you for less because he's hoping that you're gonna buy more stuff. And I know that, yeah, he's always willing to like do some wheeling and dealing.
He's very friendly too.
Yeah, he's super friendly.
Talkative, friendly guy, old guy.
Yeah, and they need more business in there. Like he's been saying that like with all the sports teams that have been coming into town, there's been a lot more competition for them there at that space as far as like weekend shopping. And so he's really seen a drop off. So I'm telling you, go down there. If you're in the Vegas area, go check out stuff. It's like, yeah, it's all weekend. So it's pretty cool. We found some cool stuff.
Yeah, I like going there. I like it when it starts to cool down. Although it wasn't very cool Friday night, it was still really warm because fall and winter, it's, you know, packed. Summertime, it's just too hot out there. It is big. As Johnny said, it's really big and it's outside and none of it is really covered and just, it's, yeah.
But, yeah. And they see Justin Packman's in the house. Emily's here. I always see you here. Junk Girl 71 says, hey, from the East Coast.
We got some East Coast.
We got a lot of people coming in. Yeah, we went, it was so hot, and then she got us.
Oh, Flippin' South is wearing the same shirt I'm wearing right now. This is my Target.
Ooh, fancy.
My Target shirt from a couple of years ago. I like my shirt. It's very comfortable, isn't it?
It was so hot that she got us beers, and it's like, the beers there, it's really funny. It's like there's, what is it, the 16 ounce? The 16 ounce is like one price, and then like the next size up is like 75 cents more, and then for 75 cents more, like the biggest size is like a 32 ounce. So of course you're gonna get the 32 ounce. It's the best bang for your buck. But we had like these 32 ounce beers, and we drank them all, and then like I'm like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom before we left. And I'm like, don't you? And she's like, no. So apparently she was so hot.
I'm a camel. I was sweating it out apparently, and I couldn't drink the whole thing because I'm a super lightweight. 32 ounces of beer, forget it. I was like 1.5 in. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of drunk.
I can do it, no problem.
Ridiculous.
It was Corona Light. It wasn't like it was.
I'm such a lightweight.
It wasn't like it was super strong or anything like that. Howdy from Texas. You know what I gotta say when somebody is from Texas?
Are you gonna Ow.
Sorry, I'm so
Look
excited.
at that. Look at that super chat.
Karen says, I love your shows. I have learned so much. Thank you for all you do. Get some tacos on me. Karen just did a $20 super chat.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks,
That
Karen.
is
that's really
awesome.
Sweet.
Feliz super chat. Feliz super chat. Feliz super chat. Feliz super chat. Gonna eat some tacos. I want to wish you a Merry Super Chat. I want to wish you a Merry Super. Okay, that's probably a bit much, but actually, meeting up with, or at least I am. I don't know if you're going to have to be able to fit in your schedule, but meeting up with Rags, Sandy, who's usually in the chat, or a lot of times is, on Tuesday to have tacos. So that's going to come in handy. And she is going to hook me up with some record frames so I can finally put some stuff on the wall back here. So I'm pretty excited about that. Pretty excited. Anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about before that. I think I was yeehaw.
We were talking about Texas and yeehaw and beer and I don't know.
I just got really excited.
Somebody had their Ritalin with their Rice Krispies this morning because she is out of control.
I'm always this way naturally. I guess maybe it's caffeine. I don't know. Anyway. Ooh, Lorna's actually hanging out with us, even though the Seahawks are playing. So
whatever, we don't sports.
She doesn't love us as much as she loves the Seahawks, you guys.
No, we're probably going to lose her a lot for the next couple months on a Sunday.
All right. So what time is it? We're already 10. I guess we're doing all right. We're doing all right, guys.
We are doing all right.
So I think we've got some cool stuff to show for solds. My sales are picking up a little bit on the old Etsy. So I've got like a couple of sales to show you guys.
Nice. I have been dead on Etsy for the past 30 days. I had 3 sales last month when I restarted in my store and nothing since. Plenty of likes and crap, but
Angie, no, that raccoon's staying up there. I might even move it so it's like right behind me, and then it'll be surrounded by the records. But it's not going anywhere. Okay, so you better back off. Better back off. In fact, Teresa sent me a link to. It was like a canvas that you can get on eBay, and it was just like a collage of raccoon faces. I might have to get that. And I think the biggest size was something like it was like 20 by 30 inches. God. I'm just gonna get some raccoon wallpaper. It's just gonna be all raccoons.
This whole room is just ruined the decorative aesthetic of the entire house. So just want you to know that.
Whatever.
Emily, any ideas on shortcuts to cross post to Etsy? It's really just copy and paste.
Yeah.
There's really no shortcuts.
You know what? It takes me longer if I'm cross posting old listings from eBay over to Etsy. That takes me a little bit longer because I have to download the pictures and I got to copy everything over. But when I now anything I'm listing new to eBay that I like just picked up, as long as it's vintage, I'm cross posting at the same time that I'm doing eBay. So one thing that really helps is having two screens. So really. In this business, you're working on the computer. If you don't have two screens, you are making things harder than they need to be. Computer screens are super cheap. You can get them for like $80, even less if you get them used. But anyway, so I have eBay on one side, Etsy on the other side, and I'm already like uploading everything up to the eBay one. So it only takes me like maybe an extra 30 to 45 seconds to like put it over. I mean, it's not really, it doesn't take that much time. It's only a little bit longer if I'm doing listings that are already up.
Angie, I already turned one of the spare bedrooms into my rock room. I'm just in the process of
it's not happening, Angie.
Getting my stuff put up in there. I bought new comforter and curtains and stuff. I've got to paint a couple of pieces of furniture to make it work. So I kind of already did it.
Angie's gonna love my my onesie if she hasn't seen it already.
Yeah.
I have a raccoon one. What? You bought it for me, you weirdo.
Crystal asked about Lululemon leggings. Well, Katie definitely can't answer that question, and I'm not much better, honestly. I very rarely have found and sold Lululemon. I've only sold a couple pieces myself. I don't bother to look through the legging rack very often, to be honest with you. Sorry, Crystal, I don't have a good answer for you on that. That might be a good question for the board. Just because you've got a lot more people to answer there.
Laura Franzica just gave me an awesome tip. She just said that I just need to Google record albums with raccoons on the cover and I won't be disappointed. So my next record I might need to be a raccoon one so I can have it in the frame.
She seriously needs no encouragement for the other.
Here's the thing,
Here we go. First it was cats, now it's raccoons.
No,
Neither of which has she ever really had a thing with.
No. Raccoons, I've had a thing for raccoons for a while. The thing about raccoons is there's sometimes some raccoon t-shirts out there, but for the most part, like there's tons of cat t-shirts. They're everywhere and they're funny. If there were raccoon ones, I'd be into that too. But here's the thing, Angie. Vicky had to learn this the hard way. The second you let me know that there's something you don't like or that bothers you, I'm going to double down on it because it fills me with joy. It fills me with joy.
Singing in my ear.
What? I do that. Things. I do that all the time anyway. It has nothing to do with your displeasure, but I mean, that helps me enjoy it more.
I want to say happy anniversary to Hip Flippin' Mama. It's her 29-year anniversary, I believe, and I think she said they've been together for 32 years.
Seriously, Kelly has been
a lifetime.
Kelly has been posting like a bunch of pictures on Instagram of like back in the day.
So cute.
They're so cute.
And the picture you posted of your husband with the dog. All right, I gotta say, like both sleeping and the wrinkled pug dog, and no offense to your husband, he's got his little wrinkled face because he's smushed on the bed and he's sleeping. They look like siblings. It's the cutest picture I've ever seen. Anyway.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, let's go ahead.
That's true. I did buy her the raccoon picture because I did think it was kind of a cute one.
And she painted the frame, so she put some serious love into it.
And I didn't know it was gonna like have such a prominent place on the wall. And I did buy her the cute little Jim Shore raccoon too, but
to be honest, she had painted the frame and I brought it up, and so I wanted to put it up just because she got it for me and I thought that would be nice rather than having it like hidden away. And so I just threw it up on the wall. It was like I wasn't really thinking about having it show up on the screen, but now thanks to Angie, that is permanently where it's gonna, actually not permanently because it'll probably move to a more prominent location.
Thanks, Angie.
So thanks a lot.
It really annoys her. All right, Lauren has snuck in and snuck back out. We've got Dana in here with a wrench still. So we got,
yay!
We got one mod in here for now.
Yeah, which is good. All right, we've got over.
You guys behave yourselves all the time.
We've got over 100 people watching right now. If you could do me a favor before we start doing our solds, go ahead and give a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show so far. If you're not, go ahead and you can do a thumbs down, whatever. We just like to get that feedback. So if you could go ahead and do your thumbs up or thumbs down, and then we're going to go into our solds. I think we've got some good ones. I do. Let's see. I got to share my screen here. We're going to start with something that Victoria sold. I think she actually did a post about it on the old Instagram.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if this seems a little redundant, I apologize. If you do follow me on Instagram, I did just post this the other day. I'm trying to be a little bit more active on the old Instagram. But one tip I've said a few times, please do not ignore the linens section. I think I paid about $5 for this. Now, it's vintage. It's probably 70s, maybe even 60s. Definitely handmade, hand crocheted. There is a lot of time and a lot of love that went into this a bazillion years ago, and it's kind of cute for the right room. So clear photos. Some people worry about how to take pictures of blankets. As you can see, this is nothing spectacular. I had it laid out actually in my dining room, and you can see part of my rug and whatever. I just thought it was really cool. I paid about $5 for it. It was listed a good year, but it sold for $97.
Well, it was listed for a year, but then in the last few months you've changed everything over, and so it's had a fresh listing for how long?
Less than a month or two.
Yeah. So I think that has a lot to do with why lots of older stuff is selling as well. So
yeah, so sometimes they're going to have, and like a lot of people that sell vintage or unique items, whether it's bedding or anything else, vintage items tend to sit a little bit longer because they're going to be waiting for the right eye.
Yeah. Emily wants to know if there's a best way to show. I have a king Afghan that just won't sell.
If you have a king size bed that you can put it on, or a queen size bed that you can put it on, and just lay it across the top and stand on a chair and take a photograph of it with nothing around it, that'd be great.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I have a big open space in my formal dining room with the hardwood floors that I generally just lay stuff out that's queen or less, and I stand on a chair and take a photo of it, and then I'll crop the photo. Some people I have a balcony. I suppose I could lay it across the balcony. It's
tough with blankets. Like, you're not going to get that perfect picture like you can with like a shirt or something that you can have like in a light box. But I actually thought, who was Cheryl had a post in the Boss Facebook group today.
Yeah, she was
finally doing her beater lack stuff. And like, I wouldn't normally be like, hey, you should take all your pictures outside. But when it comes to something really big like a blanket, it's really cool. You should go check it out. If you're in the Boss Facebook group, go check it out. If you're not, you should join. But Cheryl posted her beater lack blankets, and she had like a really clever way of like holding them up so she could take pictures. And it's great because you get really good color and lighting outside. So I thought it was a good solution.
You're using like hands, and nobody can see your hands.
I'm doing it for you.
You
don't appreciate my hands? All right, next.
Large kitchen table's another good idea, Angie. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so my first one, I think I just shared, was it last week or the week before, I think, in my haul? It must have been the week before. Anyway, this is a Fox Racing hoodie, and this is actually it's like a throwback to like their original logo. And I bought this used, but I went ahead and I took an offer. I had it priced at $47.99. It hasn't been up long enough for it to go on sale. But I took an offer for $40 because here's the thing. This same sweatshirt is still available on the Fox Racing website. You can buy it new for $69. So it wasn't like I was going to get some crazy huge amount for it. So I thought $40 for a used sweatshirt is pretty good. And Fox Racing stuff, we'll be talking more about it later in the show. But depending on what it is that you're getting, we talk about the Sasquatch hoodies and stuff like that. Some of it's super desirable. So
this is just another thing. I tend to sell a lot of board games. Not all of them are worth selling, and sometimes they can be pretty pricey to ship because they are heavy. But this is one that there are not a ton of them. So this was a vintage board game. I paid about $2 or $3 for it. I think I might have shown it in a haul a few weeks ago. It wasn't listed very long, but we're heading into that fall Halloween season. This was by no means the least expensive one on eBay, but there weren't a ton of them. I think there were maybe 10 or so listed. It's not a super popular game. It has writing on the inside. It's an old VHS. It's just, it was cool. It was complete though. So I sold it for $52. What is that? I don't know. I can never tell because you.
What are you looking for?
The front page that has the.
Oh, let me go back to it.
Yep, I sold it for $52. It was on sale. It is free shipping, but it's only going to California. So for me, it'll be $8 or so.
Crystal says that she used to play that when she was a kid. That's funny.
Oh my God, that's funny. I think actually, Crystal, if somebody must have said this when I was. You may have said that when I was showed this in the haul video a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, maybe so. So Justin wants to know. He's got a really nice wool blanket, but wants to get it cleaned. So is it can you take that to the dry cleaners? What do you have to? What do you do?
Yeah, you can have blankets and comforters and things like that. If they're worth selling, you can have them dry cleaned. Most dry cleaners charge about $15 though for a comforter or a blanket. So I would go and price it first.
I mean, is it a special brand or are you just like, oh, this looks nice?
Factor it in to see if it's something that's going to sell for you because vintage blankets and linens absolutely sell. And I've got 2 examples this week.
Yeah. Do you find that only rare board games sell?
No, absolutely not. Not all of them are rare. Some of them are just popular. So I sell them frequently. I sell at least a couple a week. I tend to not sell them for less than 20 or $30, and I rarely pay more than 2 or 3.
Yeah. Forever Funky Daryl's in the house. Woohoo! All right, let's go to my next one. Speaking of Fox Racing, guys.
We didn't even plan that, and we've got like.
I know, because you've got like
a bunch of
haul,
Fox
right?
Racing stuff, yeah.
So this is like a kind of like a mechanic's jacket, but it's like got all the racing stuff on it, and I don't know. I think it was actually I think it's for like a dealership or something like that, if I remember correctly. It's Huntington Beach Honda, but it's got like all the stuff on it, and it's quilted. It's a really nice jacket, and I love that it's got all the patches and everything. I believe I showed this in the haul. It's been up a little longer than it's been up for maybe a month, 2 at the most. It hasn't been up like all that long. But I just sold it this weekend for the sale price of $107.99. So again, guys, Fox Racing stuff. I mean, I wouldn't buy everything. Like I don't really buy Fox Racing t-shirts, for instance, because they're only going to sell for $10, $15. And I don't buy stuff at that low price point, but jackets and sweatshirts and stuff like that are usually a good buy. And again, you're going to see more Fox Racing as we go on. Here we go.
Okay, so I did show these in a haul. I think these are some of the older version of the FootJoy golf shoes. I really love golf shoes. It's not every pair of golf shoes, so you definitely want to get a little bit more familiar with the brands and things like that. This is one of the higher end brands. They're not even in like brand new condition, but they're in good condition. There's some damage. I think the pictures are pretty much speak for themselves.
Yeah.
I paid $3 for these at a garage sale, and I took an offer for $65, I believe. And I probably could have held out to sell a little bit more. Even the spikes on the bottom, a few of them are broken. I mean, actually, several.
Those
of
are
them
pretty easily replaced.
Several of them are broken. I know, and that's something you find all the time. So don't steer away from buying golf shoes if the plastic spikes are broken, because it happens all the time, and they're easily replaceable.
And generally, like a golfer is going to have that stuff on hand.
Yeah. So these sold for $65. I took an offer. Like I said, I could have held out for more, but they sold for $65. They're heavy. They're almost 4 pounds, and they're going overseas. So the buyer paid $37 and change for shipping. So I would have had free shipping in the US because they paid for shipping. I was willing to take a little bit of a lower price.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's like if you would have maybe taken a domestic offer of like 85 or something.
Exactly,
like that.
Exactly.
So that's the nice thing about international shipping is that when you do it yourself, is it gives you some wiggle room. If you're doing global shipping program, I mean, if you have free shipping, you have free shipping. You send it to Kentucky. So it doesn't give you any of that flexibility when you do offers and stuff. So I really like that a lot. All right, my next one. So this is a really cool Mickey Mouse varsity jacket. And what's interesting about this is I guess not interesting, but I've had this since I bought this in Oregon. So I've had this for a while. I've been here since December in Vegas. So this one definitely had listed for over a year. I don't believe I've gotten to the point of relisting this one yet. So this definitely is an old listing. And I sold this I sold this for the sale price of $86.69. Yeah, it's definitely an old listing because as I've been updating all my listings, I'm spelling out vintage completely. Anyway, so I sold it for $86.69. And just real quick, I wanted to use this as kind of a teaching moment. This is going to one of those buyers. It's actually like kind of, I guess they're like freight forwarders, or what do they call them?
Yeah,
there's these companies.
In California.
Yeah, they're usually in California, and I know that some sellers, especially newer sellers, when they get something purchased by one of these companies, it makes them worried that somehow it's a scam. So what it is it's international buyers. I don't know how it's set up, but these international buyers use these companies to buy stuff off of eBay. And then it gets shipped somewhere to an address in California. And the way that you'll know that this is what it is they'll send you a message after they buy it, and they'll say, it'll be like a list of things like, thank you so much for selling us this item. Please prepare it in this way, and please write the item number visibly on the outside of the package to make it easier for us, blah, blah, blah. And so basically it gets sent to them in California, and then they pack it up and they send it on to whatever country it's going to. And I think it just makes shipping like a lot cheaper for the buyers.
Must be.
But it's not a scam. It's not an issue.
They usually have super high feedback for one thing.
They have super high feedback. And once it gets to its destination in California, you have completed everything that you need to do. And so there's no issues. I've never had a return request. Nope. I don't even think that they deal with that. They might even have their own policy where they just like refund people. Who knows?
I have no idea how they handle it. But
yeah, because it just doesn't happen because you're not actually interacting with the actual buyer.
Yep. Ship Airlines. That's one of them, Laura. Yeah. There's a lot of them have the word airlines in the title. There's a handful of them. There used to be a lot more of them. I think as buyers have learned how to use global shipping and things like that. I'm not sure, but most of them are in California. I've never, ever had an issue with them. People have been using those freight forwarders forever, and they usually have huge feedback numbers, like 20, 30, 40,000.
Because that's all they do.
Yeah.
And so I love it when I sell one of them because I just know like it's hassle-free. You're not going to have an issue. All right.
Yeah, that's the ones where you definitely want to put an item number on the outside of the box, and you probably want to include a packing slip if you don't normally do that. I always include a packing slip. I know that is so controversial. Some people do, some people don't.
I don't even care. Whatever.
Always have whatever.
And that's fine. That's you're comfortable doing that. And
I do it in case a label gets damaged or a package gets opened. It's just a second.
Yeah, and I totally get that. My thinking is that it's an extra step for me. It's even if it's just an extra 5 seconds, it all adds up over time, and I've never had a problem, so I'm just not going to worry about it. But everybody gets to have their own way of doing things. So, all right, next one for you.
Okay, this one is one of the last of the huge Barbie things from my Barbie haul that I bought from my cousin when I was in Rhode Island and shipped home for $250 or $260.
Yeesh.
But anyway, this sold this week for
Hold on, I'll go back.
For $154. It was free shipping, but it did go to Arizona.
Nice.
So that was nice. The shipping was actually only about $19. I used FedEx home delivery. So yeah, this was one of my other.
Yeah, and guess who had to help her package it up?
Listen, I needed an extra couple of hands. I'm sorry. Sometimes when things are big,
she didn't pay me nothing.
It's hard to wrap.
There's a reason why I don't do hard goods, people.
But yeah, so that sold. And it was actually, people are always concerned about first-time buyers. This person had 0 feedback. Well, this person now has 1 feedback from me.
Yay!
They could have been searching anywhere for this item, and they could have signed up on eBay just to buy it. I don't know.
Well, and you gotta understand, guys, a lot of stuff, if somebody Googles, a lot of people just Google stuff to buy. They don't necessarily go straight to eBay to search for something. And so if your listing pops up in Google, they might not have an eBay account. They might not normally use eBay, but they're looking for that specific thing. So, all right. So now I have a couple of Etsy sales. And my Etsy has been building up, and I've been getting more regular sales. It's definitely slower than how it works with eBay. Like I'm close to 600 listings now. And if I had 600 listings, just 600 listings on eBay, I think I would be selling more frequently. But I'm getting some really good sales. So this is something I actually showed in a haul recently, I think a few weeks ago. Can you pronounce it? Because I can't.
Gerbeau.
Gerbeau. Okay. Well, I just don't know the brand. So Gerbeau, it's this rugby polo shirt. I'm super excited because I don't know when this started, but now Etsy does show. I realize Etsy does show the sold prices, so I'm pretty stoked about it. Anyway, so this is a dead stock. It has like the original tag in it. And so I was able to sell this as dead stock. I had it listed for $100, guys. I sold it for $100. It was really only listed for maybe a few weeks. Sold that for the full $100. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I think it went to like New York or something like that. So I was pretty excited. But yeah, these polo rugby style shirts
especially
are definitely
they're back.
They're popular, and like this, I mean, this is sort of like color block, but it's like these weird like double stripes going on. This kind of like coloring is popular. Like it's just pretty cool, and especially when you find the rugby
that hunter
stuff.
green and like plum color, that is all 90s. So 90s.
Yeah, for sure. And this one doesn't have it, but like when you find like with those rugby shirts, like especially like Polo Ralph Lauren and stuff like that, they have like the padded elbows or shoulders. Those are really cool.
Yeah,
which we'll hear more about that later in the show. Look at you.
So here's another one. This is quick question in the chat. Amy G asked, do we offer free shipping on international purchases? No,
absolutely not.
No, international purchases is calculated because most countries have different costs depending on the weight of the item. So yeah, no, and international is too expensive. Forget it. No buyer is expecting free shipping.
No,
international.
Absolutely not.
So
but we did show, so we talked about, if you go back and look at a few videos back, we have a video up. It's only about 15 minutes long, but showing how to use the program on Pirate Ship called Simple Export Rate. And it's, you can really get your international shipping labels, the cost of those cut down quite a bit. So check out that video because it's super helpful. All right, sorry.
So another thing, don't miss out on the linens. Don't, like I said, don't not look for linens. Lorna was here, so this is just a few weeks ago. This was listed for about a week and a half. Again, my pics are not fantastic. People talking about how to take a picture of a blanket. This is not fantastic. Look, you can see
like light.
I've got sunlight beams coming through from my windows. It is what it is. It's clean. You can see what it is. You do not have to have stock quality photos on every item in order to sell something. Of course, you do the best you can, and I did do the best I can. And it is what it is. So I took an offer for this for $125. I probably could have held out for more. So it was listed, actually, it had the sale price, so it was listed almost exactly 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
I paid $6 for it.
What up, thrift trader? Jason Deason in his house. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, love me some Pendleton. And that's funny because I've got a Pendleton piece today to show in my haul.
And by the way, we don't talk about this in advance.
No, but it's not something that you find a lot of in Vegas. So I think that's pretty awesome. And I'm from Oregon. Pendleton is based out of Oregon. So when I was in Oregon, I saw it all the time. I grew up knowing and loving Pendleton. So it gives me a little bit an extra warm, fuzzy feeling inside when I find anything Pendleton here in Vegas, because it kind of ties me back to.
Yeah, so I paid $6 for this. I bought it it was rolled up in a roll and scotch taped all the way around.
Yeah.
I bought it when we went to a Goodwill when Lorna was here. I paid $6 for it. I had no idea if it was dirty, if it was stained, if it had holes. For $6, it didn't matter, because even if it had all of those things, it was still worth it, because Pendleton still sells even as a cutter. So keep that in mind. Pendleton wool sells.
Yeah, it's awesome. Nothing else looks like
Pendleton women's clothing. Do not buy Pendleton women's clothing. It is not worth it. It's trash. Just leave it on the rack.
Yeah. I can recognize a Pendleton shirt, a wool shirt on the rack without seeing the label, just walking down the row. Like it has a very special look. And
that's how I was with this. Like I knew
it's what
I knew this was Pendleton rolled up from one edge of it.
Yeah. So all right, so my last one that I'm going to share, and then we'll go to our haul, is another Etsy sale. This one I sold for $59.99. This is a Firestone racing jacket from the 80s. This is like, I think it's awesome. I love it. I think it's super cool. The sports world. It makes me kind of think of like Michael Jackson or something, just because it's red and it's got the zippers all over it. I had this listed for a while on eBay, and I cross-posted it, and I was pretty stoked to get 60. It took a little while to sell, but $60, guys. That is a sweet deal. So I'm feeling better about the whole Etsy thing here. I'm going to go off of the screen share.
So Jason Deason, I'm with you. That is actually on my bucket list. I haven't found a Navajo, Southwest, Pendleton, anything yet. I also haven't found a Pendleton board shirt yet.
I found one.
Katie finds them all the time.
Well, I used to find them all the time in Oregon. Here, I did find one, and I still have my inventory because I have it priced real high because it's a nice big size. But dude, Jason, when I lived in Oregon, I went to the bins and I found the dude sweater from the Big Lebowski, the exact same one. Now they still manufacture that same. You can buy that sweater new. That like I think it's a zip up cardigan, and you can buy it new on their website. But I have an original one from like the 70s, and I found it at the bins, and I sold it to a friend actually for $200. But I was pretty excited. I was like, what?
Just like that.
What?
All right, I've only heard that story 17 million times.
You shut your face hole. It's a good story, guys.
Crystal bought a Pendleton robe for $8 and
oh, yeah.
sold for $55. Yeah, I bought a Pendleton robe that was moth-eaten, completely moth-eaten, but it was in that red Macintosh plaid pattern that is so beloved. I sold it for something like 50 or 60 bucks on Etsy. So that was like over a year ago.
Like a couple of years ago, I actually found at the bins again in Oregon, I found a Pendleton robe. Again, it also had moth holes in it, and I sold it. I think I sold it for like $80 or maybe even $100. It was crazy, to somebody in South Korea. Speaking of South Korea.
Yeah, mine went overseas too. It was like $60 and it was not in good condition. There's no way somebody could have been wearing it. They must have bought it for the fabric.
Yeah. Daryl, yeah, this is her face hole and I want her to shut it. That's her face hole right there. Shut it.
She stole that from me.
Yeah. And even the board shirts with some moth holes will sell. Not for as much, but they will sell. So Pendleton is awesome. Okay. Should we get into a little bit of our haul?
Sure.
What do you think? What are you going to start with? What do you got?
I don't know. I got some stuffs.
Roy wants us to know that we're amazing and that he can feel the genuine vibes and love flowing out of us. So
thanks.
Even when you're trying to bite my finger off with your rage bite, he can feel the love coming out of us.
Such a dork. All right, want me to start?
Yeah, go for it.
Ready? Yep. All right. So I picked this little guy up for $2 on Sunday at Savers. He's just a vintage 1960s little poodle plush thingamahoosit. But there's more. You unzip his butt, and inside
that's inappropriate.
He's a radio.
That's so weird.
It's an AM radio. He works. I tested him already. They're pretty popular. I don't know if they would sit on somebody's, a teenager's dresser or something.
That's really weird.
And so paid $2 for it. It'll sell for, some people sell them a little too cheaply, but I've sold these for as much as $40 or $50, and I'll list it for $50. It'll sell fourth quarter for $50.
Yeah, for sure. Angie, I'm not going to do my hair the same color as Vicky's. I don't even think she would want me to.
Oh, no.
However, I do need to get a haircut really badly. So I've been wearing hats every day. I need a haircut. Maybe I'll go with a raccoon stripe hairdo. What do you think about that?
I'm not going to say anything because if I say I hate it, she'll go and do it.
You literally just said something. You're a liar. Guess you're not so genuine now,
huh? So one tip for heading into this season, a lot of things to keep an eye out for. Flannel shirts. Men's and women's flannel is huge. We are back into the 90s grunge look. Flannel shirts do well every fall and winter, regardless of the trend. But right now, it's definitely on trend. Plaid and flannel is very much on trend. So keep an eye out for those. Brand doesn't mean a heck of a lot. I'm not saying go pick up every Walmart and Kmart and Target brand there is, but brand is not the most important thing. You actually would normally skip over Gap brand clothing. I mean, I would anyway, but I would definitely pick up anything Gap if it's at a reasonable price, if it's, flannel. But the other thing to pick up this time of the year is cashmere. Cashmere sweaters, you can find them cheaply enough, even if you can pick them up at a garage sale or if you pick them up on the 99-cent tag day. If you pick up cashmere sweaters and they happen to have holes in them, and you can get them for $1. Keep them in a pile, and then you sell them as cutters to crafters. And they sell very well because cashmere is expensive. So you can pile them up and sell them in a lot. If you get them for $1 a piece, sell 5 or 6 of them, you can sell them for $50. So that's one tip. I picked this sweater up. Nothing wrong with this one. This is 100% cashmere. It's actually just a cool sweater I picked up for $4 just because it was cashmere.
Look
and I
how
thought it
cute
was
it is.
cool. I would wear this if it were my size. It's just a little too small.
It's an interesting cashmere.
Yeah, it's like a
knit.
soft
It's
cashmere
like a-
knit, and it's a little thicker than usual. But it's made by a brand called Autumn Cashmere. And I paid $4 for this, and I'll sell it for about $45.
Yeah. Jason has a really good tip about flannel. Buy all the men's flannel shirts you find and lot them in like sizes of like 3 or 4, and then brand doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. It's absolutely true. Yeah, if you get them cheap enough, that totally
If they're just
works.
like cheap, if they're brands that don't really matter. I mean, obviously don't lot up Pendletons because those are amazing and you can make a lot of money individually.
I mean, I really like flannel, and I don't normally wear flannel. I actually grabbed a couple of shirts last year because I was starting to wanting to wear them again, and I haven't had any since the 90s, and now I've been looking for myself. And believe it or not, it's actually hard to find women's flannel in my size that I like. I can find them in men's all day long, but I won't wear them in men's because they're not cut the right way, and
Yep. Johnny, grunge look is back.
Yeah,
it's coming back.
Grunge is back. High-waisted mom jeans, rolled at the ankles, wife beaters, t-shirts with a faded something on them, and a flannel shirt over them for the girls. Combat boots, work boots, stocks, all back. Funky has never left that style. So Funky, Daryl, you are all set, girl.
She's on point.
She is ahead of the curve.
Yep.
She loves that look. Okay, so Katie actually found this for me at the swap meet the other night. So
for some reason, she really likes these.
I love hard rock stuff.
She likes hard rock stuff. I don't have any special feelings towards it. So if I do find it, I usually just let her have it because I know that she gets excited over it for whatever reason. Probably because it's the rock connection.
Must be. Yeah. I love hard rock stuff. I tend to price my stuff higher than the curve, and I always get my price. So I don't know why, but Daryl, since 1979, see, she's been ahead of the curve since the 70s, girl. Anyway, so this is just nothing fantastic about this, except it is a new old stock single stitch from.
You can see the single stitch.
There you go, single stitch, hard rock in Mexico, but it is a Screen Stars.
Yeah. So
paid $1 for it. Actually, Katie paid $1 for it, and I'm going to sell it for probably $40.
I paid $2 for it, just so you know. $2.
Big spender.
I know.
I'll sell it for 40, maybe 50. I'm kind of excited about it because it's a single stitch and it's Screen Stars. I've seen a couple of them floating around, a couple sales, nothing too spectacular, $20, $30 range, but I really think that the people that sold them didn't know what they had and priced them too low. So, all right.
Pretty much.
It's all you.
It's all me? All right. Let's see. Well, I'm just going to start with the Pendleton I got. I was pretty excited about this. I found myself a vintage Pendleton cardigan sweater. And let me tell you, so especially when you have wool stuff, you're going to run the risk of it having moth holes. So here's another pro tip. If you are out shopping and you see something that you like and you want to check it out, hold it up to the light. And that's a really quick way because you're really quickly going to be able to see that there's a hole in it. This is awesome. It has 0 holes. This one's actually, it's 50% alpaca, 50% wool. And let me show you another little pro tip. So look at this tag. This tag is definitely vintage. And the first thing that I noticed is it does not have the Woolmark logo on it. So the Woolmark logo, if you have anything that's wool,
60s.
you'll be able to find it. It started in the 60s. So, and I think it started like early to mid 60s. So technically this could be 60s. I'm going to say it's probably more likely 50s. It's a safe bet that it could be 50s. But yeah, once it has the Woolmark, then you know it has to be at least 60s, if not newer. So I'm pretty stoked about this.
That's very cool. Jason, Thrift Trader, single stitch, can you explain? Here's the thing. We've probably explained it about 100 times. and I know it's obviously you haven't seen those shows or if you're asking that question, but if you want to go back to a couple of shows back where Katie does a t-shirt unboxing video, it's actually maybe 20 shows back.
It's a mystery
unboxing video.
Yeah.
There's she goes into in-depth detail about vintage t-shirts and what to look for and single stitch and things like that. It's actually really good.
I'll say really, really quick, single stitch in and of itself does not make it have like a lot of value. It's just an indicator that it's vintage. And so I always say, if a t-shirt, if it's single stitch, it's definitely vintage. If it's double stitch, it could be vintage or it could be newer. But with single stitch, you always know it's at least 20 years old, if not older. But there are some like 80s t-shirts that are double stitch. So just because it's double stitch doesn't mean it's not vintage, okay?
And just because it's single stitch doesn't mean
it could be a stupid,
there's
ugly,
some newer
horrible single stitch t-shirt. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just that you know it's vintage. So it's just
a combination of the tag and the stitching that
it helps you, and especially if you're quickly looking through t-shirts, you can look and see, okay, so if you see a single stitch, it'll jump out at you. So it's just a verification that it's vintage. So somebody who likes to collect vintage t-shirts, they are going to be like, ooh, single stitch. So that's all. Okay, so yeah,
and I'm gonna talk while you're pulling that.
This
is my t-shirt. It says "Rock and Roll Forever," "Stole My Soul," 1986. It's just a Target shirt, and I'm an 80s rocker chick, especially an 80s hairband chick, and 86 was probably the premier era. When I saw this at the store, I was like, oh God, I have to have this.
Yeah. All right, I got a few denim items. The first thing I have is this Levi's sleeveless vest. I'm not entirely sure if it was made this way or cut to be this way. It has like a rough edge, but it could have been made that way. Sometimes they are, so whatever. But the sleeves are cut off. And this is not vintage, I will tell you right now. And I'll show you how you can tell it's not vintage. These tags, the way these tags are, I don't know, I'm not an expert on Levi's to be able to decipher exactly what year this was made, but I will say,
I can usually tell you, but
I will say definitely
vintage,
when it's got all these tags like this, you can pretty much guarantee that it's not. But still, denim is another thing that's super big. I mean, that's kind of fits in with the grunge era.
Yeah, denim jackets are big again. Denim jackets started last year, the year before, being real big again.
And so they're definitely trending. So this, I mean, I should be able to sell it for $30, don't you think? 25, $30.
You might even get 40 because it's Levi's.
I haven't done any research on specifically on how vests are doing right now.
Looks like a good size.
Yeah, and
that looks like the kind that someone would wear over a hoodie.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, the next one I have, now I'm a little irritated because this is a really, really nice Levi's trucker jacket, but for some reason they thought it would be really super cool to not only cut the red tag off right here, but also to cut the tag off the outside of it. It is a very small size. I would guess it probably is just a small.
I think that one is vintage.
Yeah, I think it is vintage too. And let me show you really quick the inside. You can see it's the really nice blanket lined, which adds value to it. Now, again, it's a small size, which will make it probably take a little longer to sell.
Or it'll sell overseas. Oh yeah, that's
the only tag it does have is it does say that it's a Troy blanket lining out of Troy Mills in New Hampshire. So yeah,
that's vintage.
So definitely vintage. Can't really see that very well, but this blanket line, so it's super insulated and warm. And then this is the best part of it. You turn it around, look at the back. It actually has this big patch on it for the Harley Owners Group. So Harley Owners Group, it's like is it like a national club or are they regional?
It's national.
It's like a national club. They go, their acronym is HOG. I've got the big eagle on it. So that should do really well. I haven't done any research on this particular jacket as far as like the anything with the HOG stuff on it as far as jackets go. So I don't know. What do you think it would sell for?
That I would put for sell for over 100 because it's definitely vintage. It's made in the USA, blanket lined. I didn't even look it up, but definitely 100.
Yeah. I think, Pendleton's, that's actually also rags, aka Sandy. Without tags, it still sell. Well, I think so because there are indicators of its age, like the tag for the blanket lined.
You can look at this and see that it's vintage, but also if you do a little research, you'll be able to sell. But
then that combined with the HOG patch on the back adds value to it. Without that patch,
the HOG patch is newer.
It is, but it still makes it really cool. It's gonna like widen the appeal because it's gonna be anybody who's a part of that group and then also likes Levi's, blah blah blah. So I think it's super cool. Yeah, drummer says they tear the tag. They're horrible. They are horrible.
Totally.
Totally horrible. You want to go?
Yep. Okay, so this is the time of the year to also be stocking up on outerwear. When you find 50% off sales or whatever, you want to be buying jackets. People having garage sales that are selling jackets, decent brand names, heavy overcoats, down jackets, that type of thing. Yes, things sell year round, but they obviously sell more during the winter months. So for example, I would not have necessarily picked this jacket up in every time of the year. This is a packable down puffer jacket. It's Calvin Klein, but it's a really lightweight one. I paid $5 for it, and it's I may even actually end up keeping it myself. I really like it. I like the color and everything, but I would wear it like twice. But I paid $5 for it. I'll probably sell it for $50. It's super lightweight. I don't even think it weighs a pound. So that was kind of a cool one.
Yeah, one thing about being here in Vegas that it makes me a little sad is that all the savers pretty much like really slow down putting jackets out. And some of them, like Charleston, doesn't have jackets at all during the summer months. They like completely eliminated that section. Some of the other ones still have them, but now we're just getting into the season where they're starting to put them more of them out. And it's so awesome. I'm loving it. I'm loving going sourcing because I'm finding so many cool jackets and like replenishing my jacket area.
This is another one that I purchased. I'm going to stand up just because it's long. So just like a double-breasted, like houndstooth wool jacket.
There's some serious buttons on there.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. Again, another one I would probably keep if it was my size. And this probably explains why I have about 42 jackets and I've worn about
And she lives in Vegas, guys.
It
does get cold in the wintertime, but there's not really.
I've worn about 3 in the last 5 years that I've lived here, and I can't seem to tear myself away from the ones I have. But this is by a company called Nick and Mo. It's actually an anthropology line. It's a size medium. I did pay up for this one a little bit. I paid $12 for this jacket, but it's really nice, and I think I can get about 75 out of it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
All right, so that's it. Yeah.
All right, I got some jackets here, guys. Let's see. I'll start with. Here's one that I definitely paid up for. It's priced at $30 at Savers. Yep, but I had 25% off, so I paid. I think it ended up being about $23, $24. But this is a Browning Quiet Plus jacket. So this is like a hunting jacket. And this retails for well over like $130, $140. There are cheaper versions that sell at like Walmart and stuff like that. But this is one of the ones that you would be spending like $140 to buy this new. And it is new. It's got all the tags going on here. So I paid about $23, $24 for it. I should at least be able to sell it. I think I'll be able to sell it for $100, but $80 to $100, if not more. So I think it's definitely worth paying up. And we're coming into the season when people in other parts of the country are going hunting. And so this is going to be more likely to be purchased. And also going into the holidays, like I love finding stuff new with tags because here's the thing. People definitely buy everything during fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, even though I sell mostly used stuff, because I sell a lot of collectible and vintage type stuff, I still sell a lot during fourth quarter because people are buying used, if it's vintage collectible stuff, they are buying used clothing during fourth quarter as presents.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like to bring in more new inventory because there are people who want to buy new stuff for gifts. And this is something that somebody would totally buy as a gift for like their kid or their husband or something like that. So, yep. All right, another jacket. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the best thing that I found. This is the hands down the best thing I found at the swap meet. I'm like,
I'm super jealous that you found this.
So like between Savers on Monday and all 6 Savers on Thursday, I spent like well over $400 this week on sourcing. And I'm like, I'm at my limit. And she's like, hey, do you want to go to the swap meet for date night? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to spend any money. Well, good thing I brought some money because this is the best thing I got all week, I think. Okay, we got a satin bomber jacket, vintage bomber jacket. Nicely has the name Jim on it, but luckily Jim's a very generic name. So some people like the whole like, oh, Jim or Bob or Ray or whatever. But here's where it gets real good, guys. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? I don't know if you're ready for it. I don't know if you're ready for it. Are they ready?
I don't know. Are they ready?
Here we go, guys. Check this out. GTO, Association of America, and this is like a 10-year celebration thing. So now we know the date. It's 1974. For anybody who doesn't know, GTO, that is the GTO Pontiac. It is a car. There are people who are crazy about the GTO.
Crazy car collectors.
Crazy. I mean, come on. They have their own freaking club that is still active decades and decades later. This is a thing. So this jacket right here, I wasn't able to find any others like it. They're currently available or even sold until I went to WorthPoint, because WorthPoint actually like has data going years back. And the only one I found on WorthPoint though was sold a year ago for $100. I think I can sell it for more. This is an awesome size. It's a 2XLT, so it's a tall size. It's really, really big. So I already have it listed. I listed it for $300. Now I don't know that I'll get $300. I'll let it sit for a while and see what happens. But I think I could sell it for two. I think I could sell it for $2. I'm willing to let it wait. I like having cool stuff in my store. It brings people in. And seriously, it's in beautiful condition. It had like some black marks on the sleeve, and I took some of that grandma's stuff. What's it called?
It's like grandma's stain remover or something.
Yeah, this stuff is magic. So I used that grandma stuff. I squirted it on there and used a toothbrush, and the spot, it was seriously black, like pretty dark.
It was grease.
Black.
It looked like black motor oil and grease.
But I was able to scrub them out, threw it in the wash, hung it up to dry, and it's totally clean now, in perfect condition. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm totally jealous. I love that. And the tiger on the back, we have a little debate about it. I think it's the Esso tiger, the Esso gas tiger, because it fits with the era, and there were a lot of ads with Esso gas and GTOs back in the day.
I get that, but
she thinks it looks like the Jungle Book tiger.
It is though. It may not be. It is the same tiger, you guys. Come on. It's got
which
the jaw.
one makes more sense?
No, but okay. But what I'm saying is that maybe there was a time when that company used, because what's the name of the tiger? It's like something Con.
I don't know.
Something Con. Anyway, the tiger that's in the Jungle Book, you guys, looks just like this. It's a specific jawline. And all I'm saying is that they might have used, it's just like the Oregon Ducks used Donald Duck. Doesn't mean the team is Disney. No, they use Donald Duck as their duck in their stuff. And I'm saying maybe for a time they used that, whatever that tiger's name is. Because look at the jaw. Look at the jaw. That is the same tiger, dudes. Come on. Don't make me prove it, because I'll prove it.
Whatever.
I will prove it. I'll prove it. Anyway. All right. So
so Sandy said Vegas has a swap meet. Is it indoor? There are a couple of indoor ones. I say skip those. It's mostly new stuff, and it's kind of gross. Not gross, but it's new stuff, and it's probably nothing that you'd want to buy for resale. The outdoor one is the one that's interesting. It's called Broadacres, and it's Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. It's worth checking out.
It starts at like 4 o'clock on Friday, but
4.
But it probably doesn't really get going until like 6:30. And there's like live music playing. It's all like Latino music and stuff like that. So if you're into that, then you'll have a great time. But then
they have like live mariachi music and like salsa music and stuff going on. It's kind of fun.
The other thing is at the Silverton, we've talked about this before, but at the Silverton Casino, 2 times a year they do this thing they call it the Great Garage Sale and Flea Market or something like that. 2 times a year. They had it back in
April. It's April and October.
October. So we went April. So there's one coming up here in October. So if you are in the Vegas area, you should definitely be going to that. We'll be there.
Yeah, it's a great one. Our friend Summer has a table every year where she sells a lot of Pyrex and vintage and MCM stuff.
It's really cool. It's basically like an outdoor flea market. And so there's vendors all over the place, and you're always going to be able to find some cool stuff there, whether you buy music or clothing.
I always get good stuff there.
There's just everything. So it's a pretty fun time. All right, go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to do 3 things. Yeah, 3 more things. Where are we time-wise?
Who cares, man? It's 3 o'clock, but we can go forever. You got 3 things left, or you got that?
No, I have 6 things left.
Oh, well then come on, let's do this.
All right, so this is something else I picked up. This is another brand. I'm not sure if we've mentioned it here on the show before, but it is a vintage collection that was done by Ralph Lauren. It's called the Rugby Collection. It was done for a very short period of time in the late 90s into, I think, 2000 or 2001. Nothing real spectacular about it, except for the line was kind of edgy and kind of fun. Not that this is just a brown, plain black cable knit sweater, but I did only pay $4 for it. But what is cool about it is it's got these real funky buttons that have skulls. You see those? Yeah, it's focusing. And I think I'm going to get about 60 or 75 bucks out of it. So I'm kind of excited about this find. I really love that line. Whenever I find anything rugby, it always sells. I'm super psyched.
You're super psyched?
Yeah. And then let's see. Something we found at Savers on Monday. Back to the Fox Racing theme of the day. See, someone says, Victoria says, definitely the SOX.
No,
Tiger.
she said definitely not.
Definitely
you
not.
are misreading her.
Oh, he looks. It's not Tony the Tiger.
No, it's not Tony the Tiger.
Anyway, well, there are lots of ads with the SO Tiger and GTO, but can you pay the fuck attention to me?
No, I can't. And that language is inappropriate. Tough, okay? Whatever happened to the genuine love?
Why are we talking? Why do we have pictures of the tiger?
Because they're still talking about it, and I want to end this. I want to end it. Okay, go ahead. You want me to end it now so you can move on?
No, we can be done. I can be done.
No,
are
go
we
ahead.
done?
They keep talking about it. Okay, no, okay, wait. We'll go back to you. Just hold. Let's just. They're still talking about it. Let's just finish it up. Okay, guys. Look at the tiger here. You see the tiger here? Note the jawline, please. Note the jawline. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen real quick. Share. Same thing. Same jawline. I'm telling you, it is.
What the heck does the Jungle Book tiger have to do?
I don't know.
A muscle car.
I don't know. All I'm saying is see the jawline, look at that tiger, and then look at what I got.
I need my muscle car people to weigh in on this because I'm sorry.
It's the same tiger.
A gas station.
Same tiger.
And the SO logo and like mobile, that type of thing, has a heck of a lot more to do with cars.
Listen, I'm not saying is Jungle Book branded GTO jacket. What I'm saying is that they have a tiger on it and they decided to draw the tiger to look like the tiger from the Jungle Book. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you can't. It's not like you can use it as the title anyway. That's all. Really matter.
That's all I'm saying, guys. That's
Whatever.
all I'm saying.
I'm gonna punch you right in the nose.
That's all I'm saying. Okay.
There's absolutely no logical correlation between the two.
It's just a tiger. They wanted to have a tiger in their thing. It's an association. They made these jackets for members. They didn't make it to be sold, like to be sold like out to the public. And so
yeah, GTO used to have stuffed tigers as gifts.
Okay.
They called the car the King of the Jungle.
Okay. And so then a movie that came out within like what, 7, 8 years of when they made this jacket was from the Jungle Book. So they decided to use whoever drew the picture basically made it look like that. It's probably copyright infringement, to be honest, but it's the same tiger. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Emily, SO was kind of before both of our time. So put a tiger in your tank.
I remember that though.
I remember the slogan just because I've sold SO stuff in the past, but not from ever having read it or seen it.
Yeah.
Anyway, can we move on, please?
Yes. I rest my case.
You still can't put it as Disney or Jungle.
I'm not planning
to.
I'm not planning to. It's a philosophical discussion, man.
Philosophical, okay? My ass.
Man.
You just can never be wrong.
Well, that's true, because I'm right at all times. Go ahead.
Back to Fox Racing.
Yeah, I'm not going to say Disney, Emily. Nobody worry. I'm not going to title it that.
All right, so picked these pants up at Savers on Monday. They actually appear to not even be worn, but I can't be sure of that. They have no tags. I paid up a little bit for these as well. I paid about $12. They're just these Fox Racing pants. They're in like new condition, if not new.
Yeah.
Brand new, they retail for about $220. This particular model, I'm going to sell them for about $100.
This is where Vicky is lucky that I hate pants. Because basically, we went into the store on Monday, and I was like running to get to where the jackets were, and all of a sudden I went yee, and I stopped, and I grabbed these and another pair. It was a different brand. I grabbed these, but then later on when we were like showing each other what we got, I was like, "Do you want these?" Because if she wouldn't have taken them, I probably would have bought them just because I knew they were worth money. But I'm happy to give them to her because I hate dealing with pants. So hate pants.
And this is my my favorite find. Well, actually, I have two.
No. You got, yeah.
Yeah, I have two really favorite finds from the swap meet the other night. This one, I wasn't able to get for as cheap as I wanted. I actually paid $8 for it, which grinds my gears.
I would have paid $10 for it.
Ooh,
$10.
Big spender.
Yeah.
But this is a vintage, I want to say probably late 80s Ocean Pacific.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this sweet windbreaker.
It's all right because I'm saved by the bell.
Totally Saved by the Bell colors, as she said. Yeah. So it's 80s. It's it doesn't have tags, but I'm telling you, it is. It's got to be new. It feels so. It's crispy, as I say it, but also has the interior tag that has this little. It's like a cardboard hang tag that's perforated. I'm telling you, if anybody wore it, this thing would come right off.
Did you show the main tag?
Yeah, this is the main this is the real Ocean Pacific.
Because here's the thing about Ocean Pacific. Where do they sell that now? At
Walmart.
Or Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
So OP brand Ocean Pacific is one of those brands that, like, for the most part, don't ever bother buying it. It sells for nothing. It's a crap brand, unless it's the original.
Unless
brand.
It's the original old school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just this is a small, but it's a big baggy small, and I just love this pattern. So I'm gonna sell it for probably about $50 or $60.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
All right, you can pick a few more, and I've got 3 more when you're done. All right,
here we got some jackets. Back to the jackets, guys. Check it out. I got some sweet, sweet Nautica. All right, Nautica right here. Just for those of you who don't know, this is what the Nautica old school. This is how you know it's vintage. It's in this lowercase lettering, the Nautica. And if you've seen like any of like newer Nautica stuff, it's all uppercase lettering. So that's how you know this is like the vintage 90s. This is actually a reversible jacket. It's got the roll-up hood up here on the collar. So super cool jacket. It's got the flag on one sleeve. It's got the spell out on the other sleeve. And so, yeah, see how this is all capital letters? That's more of what the newer logo looks like, but they would do the spell out in the all caps like this. So this is super cool. The other side, I won't completely undo it, but the other side is it's a fleece jacket, so it is reversible, and it's got the spell out on the sleeve on the other side as well. I should be able to sell this for, I think, $80 bucks.
I was going to say $79.95, but that'd be what I'd price it at.
$79.95. You know, Nautica is popular, but the stuff that's going to like really sell like crazy, like over $100, is going to be stuff that really has like the full line.
Bright yellow.
Like if you go look up Nautica jackets and look at solds and sort them high to low, the ones that have like the huge graphics on the back and stuff like that, they're going to sell for more most likely. But this is like a solid brand, a solid jacket. It's pretty awesome. I was stoked. Next jacket. This is so this is a brand that you're probably not going to see a lot. I've come across it a couple of times and it sells pretty well. This is a vintage like ski jacket. This is actually, the brand is Descent. And let me show you real quick. You can see it's kind of like what we talked about last time about made in Japan. So this jacket, made in Japan, Descent. This is actually a 2-in-1. Let's see, it says right here, 2-in-1 jacket, which means that the lining actually zips out. I haven't done any research on Descent jackets. I think the other stuff I've sold before has been like sweatshirts and stuff like that. There is, the hood is missing. It had like a zip-on hood, but this is a really cool jacket. I think I should be able to do pretty well. I'm hoping like $100. Go and do research and look at what jackets are selling for right now from Descent. But the fact that it's like made in Japan will up the price a little bit. So, what's going on over here? What are you looking at?
I was reading what Junk Girl put in.
Are you talking about
autobiography, Glory Days, Pontiac Chief Marketing Manager Jim worked for Division's Contract Advertising and Public Relations Agency.
Interesting. Would he have worn a 2XLT, do you think?
Jim is a pretty common name, though. That's the thing.
You know, what my favorite thing, though, is that when I found the same jacket sold on Worth Point, the name on it was Ray. And I'm like, that's just awesome. Like, there's got to be a Bob one out there somewhere.
Of course.
Like, you know, because every once in a while you'll find a jacket that has a name on it. It's like some really weird name. And I'm like, it's not as fun as like Tim or Mike or Bob or Jim.
Common ones. I like that.
Yeah. All right. Let me show 2 more things really quick before I get back to you. So speaking of rugby shirts, guys, check this out. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren vintage 90s rugby shirt. It's pretty cool. It's got like the striped sleeve just on one side. It's got the extra padding on the shoulders. This is really cool. It's got the this little guy.
Sleeve too? No, just
no, just on the shoulders. I don't know what this little guy's called. I haven't done.
It's like,
yeah, normally I can sell these for like $60. I haven't seen one that looks just like this, so I'm going to do some research to see if like this particular one for some reason gets more. I'm not really sure, but I should be able to sell it for like 60. This is what's crazy. Savers is like always pricing stuff pretty high. Like they definitely do have higher prices. It's okay when you know what you can sell stuff for. Like you know, like those Fox pants, for instance, they were priced at like $24. Kind of high, right? But if you know you can sell them for 100.
We got them on 50%
and you get some 50%
off.
off. It's great. This shirt, guys, was priced at $4.49. What? They don't price any of their like long sleeve polo rugby shirts at $4.49. I don't know why
they don't price St. John's Bay at $4.49. Maybe they meant to put $40.49 because
no, that would have been even crazy for them. But seriously, $4.49, and then I think I got it for 20% off. I think I got this on Thursday. But seriously, how cool is that? So I'm super excited about that shirt. Then here's one that I'm stoked about this. I don't know what I'm going to get for it. I haven't really done any research. I've done like a tiny bit of research, but first of all, this is just a rugby style long sleeve polo shirt. It doesn't have any like the padding or anything like that on it. It's a sweet stripe on it. And then it has this embroidery on it, Rome. So the only research I did was to see what's Rome, what's the deal with that. And the reason I'm excited is because it turns out that Rome was a technology company back in the 80s. I think they started in like 1969 or like early 70s.
So this is like pre-Apple.
But they only operate. They weren't pre-Apple, but they only operated up until 84 under this name, and then they were sold to like a couple other companies. And I think now they're owned by. I can't remember exactly, but my point is, it's a technology, it's a tech geek thing. It's a technology company that was only under this name up until 84. So I feel like there's a possibility that this is going to be super desirable to a certain section of the population. That's going to be
the geek subsection.
Yeah, totally.
The geek subculture.
Yeah. So this is like one of those things that I will probably price high. I'll probably price it for like $100.
Frenchie's in his house.
What? But yeah, so I'll price this at like $100. I don't know if I'll get that. I have no idea if there's anybody who gives a crap about Rome. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing it right. But that's the kind of stuff that I get excited about just because I'm like, oh, sweet, it's from the 80s.
Interesting.
Tech company.
Interesting.
All right, go ahead.
I actually sold, somebody still talking about GTO, I actually sold a 1966 GTO on consignment for a customer when I lived back east.
That's crazy.
I believe it sold for something like $48,000,
wow.
And we had to transport it across the country. So it was pretty cool.
When it's something that high priced, how do you do consignment on that? It's not like you get 40% or 50% of it. It's like
no, I used to charge a flat fee of $1,500 for vehicles.
Okay, and then they paid all the fees and everything.
Yeah.
So you would just get $1,500.
Yeah, because final value fees are actually not like 10% on a
well,
vehicle.
no, they
cap it.
I think they cap it at what, like $200-$300.
I don't remember what it was back then. I think it was $150, and then a listing was $100 or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it was at least 10 years ago. And you take like a $500 deposit through PayPal, and then the rest is a certified cashier's check or wire transfer.
All right, cool.
That's how you do it with high dollar items. And yeah, and then you arrange transport with a transportation company. You drive it yourself. I drove a motorcycle myself, so.
Ooh.
Well, I didn't drive it. My ex did, but we drove a motorcycle to
so basically, you're a liar.
Well, I drove the car to get because the guy paid us what he was going to pay to transport it, and I was like, it was cheaper. We made more money by driving it. Anyway, so. All right, this is my favorite find.
And I found it. She probably would have found it anyway, but it was just like randomly sitting on a shelf. And I'm like, ooh, what's that?
Mm-hmm. So this is, if Lorna is still in here, she'll love this too. But this is a vintage 1988 new and unused Trapper Keeper.
Trapper Keeper.
Oh.
It actually has like the date on it, doesn't it?
1988 mead. It does have some shelf wear. It's got a little bit, it's not in pristine condition, but it just needs to be a little bit cleaned off. Yeah, it's like dusty. Who knows where the heck it's been?
It's so awesome.
but it still has the folders in it.
Lorna is still here. Lorna, check this out.
I'm pretty
excited. It's got the notepad.
It's got the notepad. It's the designer series. This particular one, I think I can get $100 for it.
Like, isn't that weird that, like, who are these people? I mean, I get it. Like, you're nostalgic. I mean, I know, like, maybe they'll use it for, like, a movie or a television show that's, like, you know, have some authentic time period stuff. But they're not the only ones buying this stuff. Like, there's people out there paying $100 for a Trapper Keeper.
Yeah. So
totally crazy.
Paid $3. The guy's like, $3. And he didn't even, like, blink. I was like, all right, I'll pay $3. I was like, $3. I was so excited.
Yeah. I think maybe we're having feed issues again.
Seriously?
Potentially. But no, they're talking. Anyway, or is that everything for you?
No,
you got, okay, keep going.
I just showed one thing. You just showed 4 in a row.
Well, I was getting confused because of what was going on. I'm sorry.
All right, so this is another flea market thing. This is a magnificent vintage clock with a unicorn on wood, and it's like shellacked. It's actually pretty heinous, but
I think it's majestic.
These things really do sell. And what I think is funny about this is that you always say majestic, and when I looked this up, there's a particular seller selling a lot of unicorn stuff, and they use the word majestic in their title, and it's pretty funny.
I saw a thing where somebody said that that rhinos are just fat unicorns.
That's mean.
I think that's funny. That means there's real unicorns.
Anyway,
yeah.
So I paid $5 for this. It's a clock. It's cute. It's big. I think it's a really pretty unicorn type thing, and it's from the 80s. It's from like 84. It's actually dated. So I think I'm probably going to sell it for around $40 or $50.
I love did you already say the part? That's made in the U.S., handcrafted by W.J. Griffin. So this was handmade. And then it tells you this is where the off-on switch is.
Yep. I actually have to replace the hands because the hands there's only one hand there. But I actually buy these from China, clock hands, because I buy clocks like this frequently. And I bought a 5-pack last time, so I have some in my office. They're like,
you just got some clock hands laying around. No big deal.
Because they're like $1 a set, and when you buy 5, it's like $4 from China. So
yeah, if anyone's seeing any kind of delay on the video, just go ahead and reload it, and it should be fine.
So there's that, and then this is my last little piece that I love. So Mr. Christmas. Mr. Christmas is a Christmas brand of decorative stuff. It's usually musical or motion or plug-in in some way, shape, or form, and it's all super collectible. Almost all of it sells really well and for decent money. So it's a brand you want to keep an eye out for, especially this time of the year. Obviously, it sells better this time of the year, heading into fourth quarter. So this originally retailed for $25 over 20 years ago.
At Walmart.
At Walmart.
Sometimes Walmart stuff is good to get.
This is Mr. Christmas. It's a carousel. And it's just a lamp that plugs in the inner part where it looks like it's lit up, does light up, and it just rotates around.
It's really cool.
It's actually real cute. So it's complete, and it's in perfect condition, and I paid $10 for it. And there are only 5 of them that are actually currently listed, and none have sold in the last 3 months. I have to go back a little bit further, but I'm definitely going to sell it for over $100 in fourth quarter. So
nice. Very cool. Now, is that the last of your things?
Yes, that is the last of my items.
Okay, I actually have a little pile of t-shirts here. It's t-shirt talk time. T-shirt talk. Why are you making noises?
I don't know. Do you have any single stitch so you can talk about it with Justin? Not Justin, Jason. Jason, are you still in the chat?
Well, I don't know if I have a lot of I might have some single stitch. So probably my favorite t-shirt find of the week. I found this on Thursday.
Question. Let me just answer DJ. How would I ship what, DJ? The big box with the Mr. Christmas thing or the clock? They're both kind of big. It depends on where it's going. If it's going West Coast, this will just go priority. Both of them would just go priority. I'll put the box within a box. I'll make sure that nothing's moving inside. This has the original styrofoam. The Mr. Christmas thing has the original styrofoam inside. Okay. Yeah. So the Christmas thing, it has the original styrofoam inside. I will ship it in another box. This box on the outside is just, it's already a little bit beat up. It's going to be noted in the condition, but I'm just going to plop it right inside another box.
Nice.
And it'll go, you know, either FedEx or priority, depending on what coast it's going to. If it's going East Coast, it's cheaper for me to use FedEx.
Yeah. All right. T-shirt time, guys. I love this. This is a vintage, doesn't even really look like it's been worn, doesn't look like worn out or washed or anything. Class of 1984. This is a sweet, they call this, some people call this a baseball t-shirt, some people call it a Raglan t-shirt.
It's kind of one of my favorite styles. If this were bigger, I would steal this from you and wear it.
Oh, I wouldn't allow it. I love it too much. But yeah, this is, here, I'll show you the.
You would too allow it.
Not this one. I'll let you have that other one you wanted. But this one, see, this is this tag, Fun Tees. I don't know if it's showing up there. Fun Tees. There's like a million different tags from back in the day, from the 80s. But this is like really cool. Check it out. I love it. I love these kinds of shirts. I love this like class of stuff. It's got like, you know, so you might sell it to somebody who was originally in the class, or just some, you know, somebody who likes vintage t-shirts. And I actually, some people are like this, the date specific or event specific stuff. They don't like. I think it's great when it comes to vintage t-shirts. I love it when it specifies a year. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, DJ, don't worry about getting big things. Every single thing can be shipped. You just need to know how to, if you're doing calculated shipping, which is totally fine, especially if it's something heavy, put calculated shipping in. That's totally fine. Just make sure that you have FedEx and priority as an option, depending on where you live in the country. Put calculated shipping on. Add a pound or two for outside packaging. You'll be fine. It's not that hard, really.
Yeah.
It's no different than packaging something small that is breakable.
Yeah. All right. I've got, so this is, the brand is Obey.
Obey propaganda.
Yeah. I don't know this. I mean, it's possible that this is vintage, but I doubt it. It has the website on it. I mean, we had websites back in the 90s, but it's probably early 2000s. Here's the tag. I used to buy more Obey stuff. Now I only buy it if I think the design is cool. This one I really like. It says, see on the front, it says Psycho Las Vegas. And that is actually like a festival, right? What kind of?
Yeah, it's a current. It's like a heavy rock metal, like real heavy metal festival.
Yeah. And so here's the back of it. I just think it has like a really.
It's like the kind of stuff that our friend Nikki goes to.
Yeah. This is like a totally, this looks like something that would be in.
It looks like Rat Fink.
I think it's cool. Yeah.
Anybody know Rat Fink? That looks like Rat Fink skater.
And art. It's new with tags. So that's just like a cool thing. I found quite a few new with tag stuff. Now I have another vintage Nautica. So again, this is what the vintage Nautica tag looks like. And also another way to date it is if you see like the sailboat that it has on there. This is what the old one looked like. Anybody who's familiar with the newer Nautica stuff, it's just like a really plain double sail, solid logo. And so, but what I like about this is it's the striped, this like thin striped
Super
design
90s.
or whatever. And that is a very, very 90s, like when you think of like the Guess shirts or, you know, stuff like that. This particular style, the stripe, is super popular.
Allison's behind, by the way, as I can tell from the chat. I just want you to know Allison is Team SO Tiger.
Yeah.
All I'm saying.
Yeah, that's okay. Doesn't count. Next, I have this t-shirt that I grabbed. It came out, I grabbed it right when it got put out on the rack, which I love doing. This is actually from 2004, but Vicky looked up some stuff.
It's really a 1994 album.
Yes.
So this might have been, I don't know, a 10-year anniversary shirt or something, but it's not old. I mean, it's not new. So
it's 2004. So this one I should be able to sell for a decent amount. Like, how much did you say you thought I could sell for?
I think you can get about $75 out of it.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that. When I grabbed it, I had no idea like how much it was going to be worth, but I'm like, I'll try it. And with t-shirts like this, you want to make sure that if possible, that it does have,
because they're selling this shirt right now as a reprint, as a new shirt for like $20, $25, no big deal. But the vintage ones, and 2004 is not vintage, obviously, but it's close. It's closer. than it being brand new. You know, it's 14, 15, almost 15 years old. As you know, 94 shirts you would sell for probably $150, but I think you can get 75 out of it.
But I'm trying to show you guys the copyright information that's on there, so it's safe. You're safe to list it. Otherwise, if there was no copyright info and there's nothing on the back,
Angie wants that shirt and the poodle,
and there was nothing on the back, I would be a little bit hesitant to list it on eBay because it's more likely to be like just a fake shirt, and you don't want to get it pulled, bureaued.
And again, yep, Johnny's right. Grunge era, 90s grunge. It's big. It's big again.
Yeah, it's newer because Lane died in 2002.
Correct.
So speaking of GTO, guys.
Probably donated by the same guy. Did you get it at the same place?
I got this on a different day.
Oh, okay.
So, but remember the GTO jacket I got at
the swap meet. Yeah.
So this, check it out. I love it. And this is new with tags, as you can see. So I think that this will also go to somebody who loves the old GTO. Look, it's on the back. It's got this whole chart of like, it breaks down like the years and the types of engines and everything. So this is definitely good.
This actually looks like the one that I sold. It was a gold one. It was either 66 or 67. I'd have to look back at my paperwork, but
yeah. So this is going to go to like a super nerd. I got this on. Did I get this on Monday? I feel like I did not get this on Thursday.
I think you got
so
it.
I think I got it on Monday, which means I paid half of that. So it's priced. They probably priced up a little bit, probably because it was new with tags and stuff. But all right, then we're the same place I got that Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt. They had a ton of t-shirts. Now they were all like, almost all of them were like, what was it, like Las Vegas, like Parks and Recreation or something like that.
Something Las Vegas.
Yeah, and so it was like tons and tons. So I got a whole bunch. I didn't bring them all up here, but I grabbed a couple of t-shirts that I thought were really cool from that grab. And this one is LA Workout. It's got like a sweet. This is like a sweet like 90 or kind of early 90s design. This is an anvil tag. You can see it's XL, made in the USA. This one, it does have single stitch. It might be kind of hard to see through this the heather gray, but it's single stitch. I love it. I love the whole workout thing. And then the last one that I have, it's just in that same batch. This one, I don't think it is single stitch, but it's definitely vintage. This is MGM Grand Roaring with Pride in 95. And it's like this whole Wizard of Oz theme. Now, I'm not entirely sure that I'll be able to say Wizard of Oz or Yellow Brick Road. I'm not entirely sure. I need to look and see like how copywritten that is because it is from an old book. And I don't know if the book is still under copyright or not.
I don't know.
Because it's really cool, Yellow Brick Road. It's like a race thing. But see, here's an example of like a shirt from 1995, and it's not single stitch. This is double stitch. You can see the double stitching on it. So, but it's definitely a vintage t-shirt. So it's not always going to tell you. Anyway, that's it.
That's it. That's all you got?
That's all I got. I got tons of it. I had a hard time like narrowing down what I was going to share because I got so much good stuff this week.
Yeah, I did too, I think. So I'm excited. All my stuff is photographed. I'm going to go back to listing. So I'm going to list a bunch more today, list a bunch tomorrow. I've got very little for Miss Dana to photograph for me on Tuesday. So I'm either going to have to go shopping or just, I don't know, photograph it myself.
I don't know. I haven't done any listing today because I was running errands this morning. I've also been doing some maintenance, some fixing of her racks that I built her. There was an issue with one of them. I actually have been making a video around it. So that should go up sometime tomorrow, kind of showing you what the problem was. The whole top rack was sagging under the weight of like the 100 jackets she had hanging on up there. It was a little scary. Looked like at any moment it was going to snap. And so she was like, can you look at this? Do you think this is a problem? And I was like, well, that doesn't look good. And so I made sure that I had that fixed for her before she has to pull stuff for tomorrow to ship from the weekend.
I'm really loving that Allison's a little bit behind and she is just validating every statement about the GTO jacket for me. Thanks for having my back, Allison.
I think the reality is that she's Team Vicky. So hashtag rude. Hashtag rude. Anyway, guys, so be on the lookout for that video tomorrow if you care about stuff like storage solutions and stuff like that, because I do show the problem that we had and how I figured out the solution for it. And you can kind of see like the process I go through figuring that out and putting it into action. But anyway, Ocean So says, do you have a video showing the rooms where you keep everything you have for sale? Yes. So we keep everything. You know, I have I have like over 1,700 listings, but I probably have like 1,900 items. I have close to 2,000 items because I do have some duplicates. You have like 2,500 at least.
I have 2,500 listings, and I probably have about 2,700 items altogether. Because I do have a few duplicates, not too many.
Yeah.
We keep everything in our 2-car garage. It's almost a 2.5-car garage. It's an oversized
items.
It's an oversized 2-car garage, and everything is in there, and it is a tight fit. Tight.
Yeah.
But we don't keep merchandise in the house. The only thing in the house is unlisted merchandise. And there's enough of that in here, but we do keep it in our offices and out of living space. It's not in any bedrooms, not in any living rooms, unless it's being photographed or listed. It's in our offices. Yeah. So that's kind of my rule. And I'm glad that Katie actually agrees with that rule.
It's your rule, but that's how I operate too. Like I like having all my stuff like where it's supposed to be. But if you go back, if you look at like the videos, like all the videos that have come out of this channel and you sort from oldest, within the first 10 videos, there's a few videos where I show like all of my stuff when I was still back in Oregon, and then my process of getting everything ready and getting the space here ready, and then actually moving everything in, and all of the things that we did to make it so everything fits. And so there's a couple of videos that will show you exactly how we have everything set up. So if you're interested in checking it out.
It's tight, and we're definitely at the max capacity right now. We're hoping to both have a pretty successful Q4 to thin out the herd a little, and that will help. And we are actually going to be reorganizing a little bit once we get a lot of our Christmas stuff out. You know, I have a huge amount of Christmas decorations. So once we get that out, we're going to be reorganizing a little bit that way too. So
yeah, for sure. So anyway, so
we made it this first year, almost a full year, without killing each other, with all of our stuff in one area, but separate. Yeah, so that nothing got mixed up.
It's tight fit, but so be on the lookout for that video tomorrow, and you'll actually see some of like both of our racks up with all of our jackets on and stuff. And then on Wednesday we have our Boss Up and List live show, and that one we've already talked about this, but we're going to be going over just like our list of the different third-party websites and apps that you can use to help you sell either on eBay or Etsy.
Yeah, whether it's stuff that you're looking, use things for research on the fly, or when you're at home, or measuring, or pricing, or whatever, all kinds of stuff.
It's free sites, paid sites, apps, free apps, paid apps. It's not, it's just kind of try to do like a comprehensive list of the stuff that we know about. We're not going to hit everything, but that should be a really good show. And then that's about it. Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate it.
Thanks for spending part of your Sunday with us.
Yeah.
This is still my favorite video, even if she thinks she's always right and she's not.
Here's the thing. With our personalities, we both think that we're always right.
Well, I am always right. Sorry.
Sorry. Whatever.
All right, Sandy. She's on the road tomorrow. We will see you Tuesday for tacos. At least Katie will. I'm going to try to join you. We'll see if I get my stuff done. So
yeah. All right, guys. Get back to work or get back to hanging out.
And Crystal already listed and sold the Lululemon. Well, there you go.
Nice.
Nice.
Woo, woo, woo. All right, guys. The rest of you, get out there and boss up.
Bye.